Destiny called it.
They know it. But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine.
I wonder why he's saying these things. Well, now I wonder, you know what I mean? It's like he said that and everyone was immediately like, you know, you have your own little conscious or unconscious biases. Everybody does. So everybody, not everybody, most people that watch me understands Tim Pool is a shill of misinformation. He is a disinformation salesman, grifter. Okay, he loves it. It's what he thrives in. So his pathway to sharing Russian propaganda in a lot of people's minds was already there. Like a lot of people already thought he was doing it, whether it was ignorance or whatever, or how deep the Republicans are and the MAGA Republicans are within Russian propaganda space. Maybe Tim Pool was just kind of like touched by it. Oh no, he wasn't just touched by it. He was literally paid. And this is coming from the Department of Justice. So CNN and other sources are reporting it. Mainstream news is slowly picking it up. I'm sure it will get out there a little bit more, but it's kind of fresh. This is within the last few hours. So a lot of YouTubers and other, because obviously like Tim Pool, YouTuber, so he started. And so other YouTubers are covering it because it's pretty quick in the YouTube sphere. But in terms of mainstream news, they're starting to pick it up. I already shared it on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. But it's coming straight from the Department of Justice. Why am I not following them? New Twitter account. You can follow me. 2 RT employees indicted for covertly funding and directing U.S. company that published thousands of videos in furtherance of Russian interests. Damn. Employees of Russian state-controlled media outlet deployed nearly 10 million to publish RT-curated content, which garnered millions of views through a Tennessee-based online content creation company. Oh boy. Oh boy. We almost need the... I know what we need. You got to put your tinfoil hats on. You guys thought you weren't going to get Russia-Ukraine stuff today? Oh, you do, but it's through MAGA, the silent fucking enemy of this entire thing that I've been saying this whole time, and MAGA Trump supporters have been like hating me because you're so good at covering Ukraine, Andrew, but when it comes to the U.S. domestic politics, you have no idea. You just have no idea, bro. I don't understand how you don't get it. Oh, I do. We need the music. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Straight Metal Gear Solid shit, bro. Tim Pool, beanie guy. An indictment charging Russian nationals Kostyan Kalishnikov, 31, known as Kostya, and Elena Afanasieva, 27, known as Lena, with conspiracy to violate the Foreign Agents Restriction Act, FARA, and conspiracy to commit money laundering, was unsealed today in the Southern District of New York. Kalishnikov and Afanasieva are at large. The Justice Department has charged 2 employees of RT, a Russian state-controlled media outlet, in a $10 million scheme to create and distribute content in the U.S. audiences with hidden Russian government messaging. Attorney General Merrick Garland said, "The Justice Department will not tolerate attempts by authoritarian regime to exploit our country's free exchange of ideas in order to covertly further its propaganda efforts, and our investigation into this matter remains ongoing. Our approach to combating foreign malign influence is actor-driven, exposing the hidden hand of adversaries pulling strings of influence behind the curtain," said Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco. As alleged in today's indictment, Russian state broadcaster RT and its employees, including the charged defendants, co-opted online commentators by funneling them nearly $10 million to pump pro-Russian propaganda and disinformation across social media to United States audiences. The department will not tolerate foreign efforts to illegally manipulate American public opinion by sowing discord and division. Quote, Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco. Covert attempts to sow division and trick Americans into unwittingly consuming foreign propaganda represents attacks on our democracy, said FBI Director Christopher Wray. Today's actions show that as long as foreign adversaries like Russia keep engaging in a hostile influence campaign, they are going to keep running into the FBI. We will continue to do everything we can to expose the hidden hand of foreign adversaries like Russia and disrupt their efforts to meddle in our free and open society. So this is an example of the Russian influence being peddled through social media influencers. Got him. The Russian government has long sought to The Russian government has long sought to sow discord and chaos in the United States through propaganda and foreign malign influence campaigns, said Assistant Attorney General Matthew G. Olson of the Justice Department's National Security Division. As alleged, the covert operations by RT employees exploited our free and open press and targeted millions of Americans as unwitting victims of Russia's psychological warfare. As alleged, the Russian state broadcaster RT orchestrated a massive scheme to influence the American public by secretly planting and financing a content creation company on U.S. soil, said U.S. Attorney Damian Williams of the Southern District of New York. The instruments of the scheme were RT employees Konstantin Kalishnikov and Elena Afanasieva, who managed the operation from Moscow using fake personas and shell companies, and the victims of the scheme were the American people who received Russian messaging without knowing it. As the charges unsealed today demonstrate, the office will work with our law enforcement partners to unmask and hold accountable all those who conduct malign influence campaigns in the United States, no matter how hard they try to hide their tracks. According to court documents, RT formerly known as Russia Today, which is a state-controlled media outlet funded and directed by the government of Russia. Over the past year, RT and its employees, including Kalishnikov and Afanasyev, deployed $10 million into a covertly financed and direct Tennessee-based online content creation company. In turn, the U.S. company published English language videos on multiple social media channels, including TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube. Since publicly launching in or about November of 2023, U.S. Company One has posted nearly 2,000 videos. We're going to go over what Company One is in a minute, which is Tenet Media. U.S. Company One has posted nearly 2,000 videos that have garnered more than 16 million views on YouTube alone. Many of the videos posted by U.S. Company One contain commentary on events and issues in the U.S. such as immigration, inflation, and other topics related to domestic and foreign policy. While the views expressed in the videos are not uniform, most are directed to the publicly stated goals of the government of Russia and RT to amplify domestic divisions within the United States. In order to carry out RT's secret influence campaign in the United States, Kalishnikov and Afanasyev operated under covert identities at U.S. Company One. Posing as an outside editor, Kalishnikov edited U.S. Company One content, monitored U.S. Company One's funding and hiring, and introduced Afanasyev as a member of his purported editing team. Using the fake personas Helena Shurdra and Victoria Pesty, Afanasyev posted and directed the posting by U.S. Company One of hundreds of videos. Afanasyev also collected information from and gave instructions to U.S. Company One staff. For example, after the March of 2024 terrorist attack on a venue in Moscow, Afanasyev asked one of U.S. Company One's founders to blame Ukraine. You guys remember the terror attack in Moscow that we covered on the channel? And you guys remember how Ukraine was blamed immediately? That was laundered through this company, Tenet, that is referred to as Company One here, that Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, and others are influencers for. And we're going to get into all that, you guys. It's deep. It is deep. MAGA, how you feeling right now that you're like influenced by Russia? Let's take a check really quick, because I know I have MAGA viewers on Facebook for sure, and I also know that they're on the YouTube channel. How are you feeling that all of your beliefs are tailored by Russia? They're not coming from anything organic. They become organic maybe when it reaches like a grassroots effort that's influenced by Russia, and then maybe like through the influence campaign, somebody can then have their opinions, but it's already curated by Russia. Everything they believe in, everything that you think that you believe in is curated by Russia. How does that make you feel? Orange man bad, sure. Orange man affected by Russia. Orange man Russian op. People that watch Orange Man influenced by Russia. Back to the indictment. So it was funneled out to this media company, Tenet, to blame Ukraine immediately. So that's why we had messaging like that. And also the mainstream media spreading fake news. No, let me read this here quick. Afanasyev asked one of U.S. Company One's founders to blame Ukraine and the United States for the attack, writing, "I think we can focus on the U.S.-Ukraine angle. The mainstream media spread fake news that ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack, yet ISIS never made such statements," which they did. That's what's wild, because ISIS actually did claim responsibility. ISIS-K specifically claimed responsibility for the terror attack in Moscow. ISIS-K. The March 22nd, so here it is, U.S. mission to the OSCE. Terror attack on the Crocus City Hall. I covered this story. We covered this live breaking news on the channel, so you can literally go back and watch it as it developed if you want, and like make popcorn and watch me find information like as it happened. It's on the channel. Do that. March 22nd, ISIS-K terrorist attack on the Crocus City Hall concert venue in Moscow that killed over 130, right? So the Russian, obviously that was attacked by ISIS because of Russia's relationship with ISIS is obviously bad too, right? But ISIS-K especially had plans of conducting a terrorist attack in a populated area inside of Russia. And the FSB knew this. The FSB was aware of this and they didn't give a fuck. They said, I don't give a, listen, we can use this. We can use this attack that we know is coming to then blame Ukraine and the United States. And it'll be a win in the media sphere. We're going to launder that to MAGA influencers, which will then reach MAGA voters and Trump voters, so that way they can then be against Ukraine and be against aid to Ukraine and fall into all the propaganda traps that have already been laid for MAGA Trump supporters on the internet or wherever, or on Newsmax or Fox News. Fox News sometimes has people that will be on there that are supported, but it's too late though. The base already is kind of left Fox News and they're already going to alt media that is already laundering Russian propaganda on a regular basis, and they think they're getting the truth. Anyways, try not to rant too much. We got to keep it in check here. So ISIS-K terrorist attack, it's already been confirmed so many times. Anyways, blaming the mainstream news that it's fake. All terrorists are now detained while they were heading to the border with Ukraine, which makes it even more suspicious why they would want to go to Ukraine to hide, right? So they're crafting the story. They're story crafting instead of just telling the truth that it was ISIS. Like, we can't do that. That'd be fake news media. Russia has the same media that MAGA supporters go and watch. The same, it's just in a different language. I watch so much Russian state media. Do you know why I'm also more passionate against MAGA since I come from it in Republican world? Because Russian state media and like Fox News programming is the exact same. The exact same, only in different languages. Because I grew up watching Fox News. Fox News was on in the house all day, 24 hours a day. Can't tell me nothing about Fox News. I know all about it. Grew up with it. Lived with it. Deployed in the military. And guess what they had on in the goddamn chow hall? the Fox News. So even while I was in the military, oh, Fox News is right there. They didn't play CNN. They had CNN on the airports, but in the military bases, they had Fox News on in the chow hall. So, fuck. Watching 2 straight years of Russian propaganda, it's like, oh wow, it's like the same thing. Between in or about October of 2023 and in or about August of 2024, RT sent wire transfers to U.S. Company 1 totaling approximately $9.7 million, which represented nearly 90% of U.S. Company 1's bank deposits from all sources combined. The wires were sent from shell companies in Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, and Mauritius, wherever the hell that place is, no idea, and were often accompanied by wire notes describing the payments of the purchase of electronics. For example, the wire note for a $318,800 wire payment from a shell entity in Turkey to a U.S. Company 1, which is Tenet, on March 1st read, buying goods, invoice, iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is what I write on when I buy weed. This is the type of shit I do. Wow, you guys. Can you guys see that even like big, like deep, I guess what MAGA would refer to as deep state, but yet you guys support the deep state actually? People that do deep state activities in the background that we're reading right now, they literally buy goods in the same way I would buy weed off of Cash App. Yeah, I'm totally buying gas. I'm buying chips and salsa right now for sure. I'm not buying weed. U.S. Company 1 never disclosed to its viewers that it was funded and directed by RT, nor did the U.S. Company 1 or its 2 founders registered with the Attorney General as an agent of a foreign principal. Illegal. Guess what? If you want to be a foreign agent and a foreign influencer, it's wild, but you still have the freedom of speech to do so, but you have to register as a foreign agent to do it. You can come to the United States and shill for Russia. Yep, you can do that, but you have to register as a foreign agent as you're working for the Russian government. But you still have the freedom of the speech to do so. But nope, not if you're not doing that, not if you're trying to lie to people and play games and play propaganda games and pretend like they're getting the truth and not literally just Russian state media funded operations. FSB operation. MAGA, how does it feel that you're an FSB operation? But how does that make you, like, honestly, like, how does that make you feel? Everything you believe in, everything that guides you in the media sphere, you are an FSB operation. Good God. Can imagine. Kalishnikov and Alpha Sophia, both of Russia, are charged with conspiracy to violate FARA, which carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison, and a conspiracy to commit money laundering, which carries a maximum of 20 years in prison. If convicted, a federal district court judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. The FBI is investigating this case. Indictment. How many pages is the indictment? Oh God, we can go through. So that was like the overview. Maybe let's scroll through it and see if there's anything in the actual indictment that we missed. Okay, so do they tell us who Company 1 is? Founder 1, Founder 2. Maybe it's at the end. You guys want a link to the indictment? Here it is. Here. MAGA Russian. Here it is. MAGA Russian indictment. I wish I would have read this. I wish I would have known. I should have clicked the actual indictment. So we read all this. Fake personas. We already read that part. We knew that. Opposition of the war in Ukraine. 2,000 videos, YouTubers. So where does it lay out who Commentator 1, Commentator 2 is? Private investigator Edward Gregorian. This is like something right out of a movie, bro. They love movies so much they want to be it for real. They love Tom Clancy world. They create it themselves. Where does it lay out who they all are? Is at the end. Overt Acts, Kalishnikov, Founder 1. We read that. So maybe in the overview, it's U.S. Company 1, the Shell Company, UAE. I'm trying to go see where it lays out who the people are. The DOJ doesn't say who it is. We infer it because the DOJ oh. Ah. Damn, dude, you guys are good. I understand. So it doesn't actually specifically lay out who it is. They've been found out. That's how it got down to it. And that's why you have Tim Pool. Okay. My statement regarding allegations. Okay. Ah. Smart. You guys are good at this. It's fake. Mercado Media is fake news. Are you okay? You can't read, like, I just linked the Justice Department indictment in whole to you. Like, you can read it. This is the actual indictment. I just read an overview, so I'm not going to read the entire indictment again. Like, this is basically an overview of the indictment right here. There's all of it, or all the important information. Everything important here. So, Company 1 is called Tenet Media. Turn this down a little bit. All right, Tenet Media page. Let's click that really quick here. Stop that. Golly, dude. Who would have thought, dude? As soon as you open the page, like, golly. Tenet Media is a network of heterodox commentators that focus on Western political and cultural issues. Our goal is to support creators who question institutions that believe themselves to be above questioning. In our view, all issues... Oh my God. Who's Taylor Hansen? He like vaguely sounds familiar. Obviously, I know Lauren Southern and Tim Pool. That's why all their shit is purple now. Like, his thumbnails are all purple because they're affiliated with this Tenet Media that's got $10 million from Russia. Lauren Southern, Tim Pool. I don't Taylor Hansen. I know Dave Rubin and Benny Johnson. I just know him from his ridiculous Twitter posts. I think he's just like literally just two hands at all times on Donald Trump for everything. Wow.
I think I've pissed off basically everybody. That's what happens when you're a free thinker.
Free speech is under attack that we self-censor. Maybe they take us down individually. It's a lot harder to do when we're grouped together in this way.
When the media says dissident or anti-establishment, I mean,
Wholesale propagandists. Come and get them.
Independent
Get them while they're hot.
media is the most important job.
They're like the propaganda Avengers from Temu.
The challenge for all of us is to not be passive participants.
I don't know who Matt Christensen is. I don't know what that means. Wow. Don't let it slip away. It's kind of weird because in a sense, like, I think of Tenet, I think of the movie, and they got to go into the backwards world. So it's like, kind of fits, right? The backwards world, the upside down. Tim Pool is a podcast host based in West Virginia. Having first established himself as a credible journalist, he covered civil unrests around the globe, for which he received a short award for the best journalist in social media in 2013. That's so sad. That is so sad. You go full Red Dawn when I hear the Soviet anthem. Just ready for it. Just ready to go. So here's Tim Pool's statement. My statement regarding allegations on the Department of Justice. Should these allegations prove true, I, as well as other personalities and commentators, were deceived and we are the real victims. We are the victims. I cannot speak for anyone else at the company as to what they do or what they are instructed. The Culture War podcast was licensed by Tenet Media. It existed well before any licensing agreement with Tenet, and it will continue to exist after any such agreement expires. The only change with the agreement was that the location of the live broadcast moved to Tenet's YouTube channel. I and TCW never produced any content for Tenet Media.
They know it. But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy.
Doubt. Super doubt. Never at any point did anyone other than I have full editorial control of the show, and the contents of the show are often apolitical. Examples include discussing spirituality, dating, and videos games. Whoa. Is that what's talked about? The show is produced in its entirety by our local team without input from anyone external to the company. TCW is a separate company not associated with Timcast or other properties. It exists solely for the production of the Culture War podcast. This is totally something I would write if I was innocent. I would definitely write something like this if I was innocent. That being said, we still do not know what is true, as these are only allegations. It's literally an indictment. It's not just like rumors. It's a full Department of Justice indictment. It's not just like rumblings like Twitter drama. Like, you got indicted, my boy. Eat that L. You got a whole Department of Justice indictment. Putin is a scumbag. Russia sucks donkey balls. I'm pro-Ukrainian now. Guys, believe me. And to the journalists who wish to jump the gun, create their own narrative, or lie about what is currently going on, you can eat my ass. Pause. No, did he? What? What is up with MAGA? Like, even remember Alex Jones when he was like, you can eat my leftist ass? Or no, leftists eat my ass or something? Like, what is up with that? What's going on there? Kind of weird. It's different. I mean, it is what it is. That's what you like. Corrected because I didn't know this was an official DOJ release. Yeah, no, it's too late. You knew it was an official DOJ release. You know what's happening. You know what's going on right now, Beanie Boy. It looks like everyone I know is either a Russian asset or a Fed. All they're blaming weird. And he retweets it. So we're blaming the Jews. That's okay. That's par for the course. All right. I mean, that's one way to handle it. Okay. All right. I mean, we knew that was going to be in the wheelhouse of cope. I mean, that's just par for the course. And that's it from Tim. Damn. So we're blaming the Mossad, you guys. If you're Tim Pool, the Mossad is responsible for this. It's not actually like Russia's money that the Department of Justice investigated, especially with the amount of aid we are giving to Ukraine and the amount of like involvement we are with Ukraine. We are especially like everything to do with Russia is getting highlighted, right? Because like Russia is trying to destabilize our countries, clearly. I mean, clearly, but like also in other ways. Like physically when it comes to Ukraine and Europe, obviously with a full scale war. But like, it just kind of breaks my brain because so many people believe the things that Tim Pool and these influencers say. And it's like, it's one thing if it was just like, I know people are going to argue freedom of speech right away. And I understand that, but this is money influenced from Russia, from our enemy. Russia's our enemy. People in MAGA and the far left that are also cooked, but they don't have any power in the US. They believe that Russia can like not be our enemy for some reason. Like Russia, like every day is like, let's nuke Washington, DC. Or like they want to do, on their media shows, every single one, they'll talk about how they can't wait to ruin the United States. Like they are at war with the United States, according to Russian state media. If you just like watch for like a little bit, like I do watch it on the channel. I haven't watched it lately, but we watch the programming and we see like what is said and the messages that are disseminated. They're in the eyes of the Russian citizens, they're at war with the United States because that's what they're told they are. Wild.